Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we got more bad news for Joe Biden and the Democrats. Despite having a good victory in yesterday night in South Carolina, Joe Biden miraculously winning 96% of the popular vote, just proving how just destroyed the Democrats' morals are. Like, they have to reelect the guy that has a poor approval rating, and they credit him for their overperformance in the 2022 midterms. A guy that can't find the stairs, that can't locate a doorknob on a door, and the guy who cannot speak a sentence. Seriously, we give this guy too much credit. But let's see how it actually is when we have this clown on the ballot. So, um, like 2 days, 3 days ago, we saw a trend where Joe Biden. Whoops, I hit my mic. Where we saw Joe Biden, basically, winning some polls against Trump. You'll have MSNBC saying polls suggest Biden can win re-election despite a weak approval rating. Well, yeah, that's what some polls are saying. Now, majority of the polls are saying that Trump is probably going to win. Okay. Uh, you'll also see um more recent news from NBC saying a 20-point defect on handling economy highlights Biden struggling as you know, against Trump. Basically, yeah. When it comes to the economy, when it's going to be on that debate stage, all Joe Biden can do is talk about insurrection and abortion. That's all he can talk about. And he'll probably get some cheers from liberals and some rhinos. Yay, abortion! Yay! Like, literally, the as you know, the whole abortion joke has been totally washed up. Like, the only difference of the overturn of Roe v. Wade resulted to was states got to decide their own abortion procedures. So yeah, that was pretty much a compromise, and apparently compromise wasn't really enough for the Democrat Party, and they turned it into abortion gone in here, gone there, gone in blue states. No, this is washed up. And as you know, the Democrats continue to use this as a plank to win elections. And they know what they're doing. They're not. They're glad. They're happy Roe v. Wade was overturned because they get so much money, and they know that a lot of Americans. I'm not saying Americans are like this, but I'm saying a lot of Americans are not enough informed and don't not know to actually look up and find resources in what the context behind the claimants are. That abortion is at stake is a false claim. Fact check, because the only difference with Roe v. Wade has resulted was that now U.S. states got to determine which if abortion should be legal or illegal, and that will usually be in different ways, such as the state Supreme Court will often debate about it. There would be a federal abortion ban uh, passed by the House or state legislature, or it will just be a ballot measure. That's all it is. And we have Joe Biden thinks he's the only guy to actually save abortion. He's the one that lost it. Literally, Democrats should be blaming him for literally losing Roe v. Wade. When Joe Biden became president, I'm like, goodbye, all the pro life stuff Trump did. Goodbye. It's going to be pro abortion from here. I would never have expected that under the Biden presidency, Roe v. Wade would be overturned. Never. I totally forgot about the Supreme Court majority. Never. So that's an L to Joe Biden right there. And I think they give a little they give this guy too much credit. And Joe Biden knows he blew it with Roe v. Wade too. He's the one to blame because it happened under his watch. He was supposed to be standing there saying, "Hey, don't do it," and that's what happened. It happened. So yeah, it's kind of funny and how Democrats play the hypocrisy game when it comes to issues like abortion, but also issues like insurrection. Like, okay, Americans have moved on from that. Now let's talk about issues that Americans want to hear, and that is talking about the economy, the border crisis, when it comes, and also wars, foreign and international politics. Is the Biden administration doing good foreignly? Well, what do you think? Is the Biden administration doing good foreignly? As in foreign policy wise? I think I realize that we can't really go right to a point. We can go in front of Russia and we can go in front of Ukraine, blocking Ukraine from Russia and saying, "Hey, don't do it." And we kind of did it. Well, Russia just pushed us right aside. Like, seriously, we shouldn't even have to go up to Ukraine and block it from Russia's sight. We somehow needed to talk some sense into Vladimir Putin and say, "Hey, this is stupid. Don't do it. This is going to cost millions of dollars, not only towards your economy, but it's going to not only, but to all of Europe, Ukraine, you, like, seriously, you think NATO's not going to let you invade Ukraine? You risking your whole entire military spending, and then you go and you have NATO sanctioning you. Don't do it. It's a non-conservative approach. You need to regroup and think, hey, you know what? We don't trust NATO. We don't trust Ukraine. Talk about it. Be civil. Talk some sense. And instead we throw threat. It's like, seriously. And you get the American people worried because this is a seed into World War III. Another seed, the disaster when it comes to Palestine and Israel. And Iran, of course, another seed. And then finally we have, as you know, China and Taiwan. How and when will China invade Taiwan? When? I don't know. Hopefully they don't. That's another seed, and it's already been planted because we know it's more than possible. It's been talked about for months now. A potential invasion. We'll sure not be shocked and surprised. Like, seriously. And with that and the Afghanistan issue, the list goes on and on. And Joe Biden and the media will keep saying, "Oh, look at the economy, it's going up. Look at inflation. It's easing. It's easy. It's steady. It's kind of going up by 0.29%. Like, seriously. Like, okay, we know what they're doing. I get the notification all the time. Breaking news! Economy is recovered. They claim it's recovered. The point is, it never should have happened that way. And yet, have they actually admitted to their mistakes? No, they haven't. They have not said, "Okay, we blew it." No, they haven't. So yes, this is the current situation as of right now. Donald Trump said to win this election by 287 electoral votes. A lot of you guys down in the comments of my last video said, yeah, it's going to be a close election. I agree. And honestly, there's going to be a main decider in this election, and that will be RFK Jr. He is going to be potentially the next Ross Perot. He will ultimately probably receive a margin of past 10%. Let's think about it. Not all Americans love Trump. Not all Americans love Joe Biden. So And a lot of these Americans also grew up in 92. People in 92, or if you were around to understand the situation in 92, would understand that, yeah, Ross Perot is a big guy. A lot of people thought he was going to become president. Obviously, a lot of people that lived in 92 also were alive for 68, where George Wallace picked up over 5 states. Ross Perot couldn't do that, even though Wallace received 13% of the popular vote. But his 13% was subtracted in one area, and that was the South. So while as Ross's Perot is 18%, which is more than way more than George Wallace, by the way, couldn't even pick up a state. That's because his support was everywhere around the country. Now, if it was subtracted in one area, let's just say Nevada, he would for sure win Nevada, for sure. Montana or the West, he would probably pick up a lot of Western states, but his support was everywhere. That really subtracted into his ability of carrying electoral votes. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be the same deal as Kennedy. He would probably win 20% or 25%. A lot of Americans don't like Trump. A lot of Americans don't like Biden. So this race is probably going to be, when it comes to percentage-wise, I will predict it's probably going to be in the 40s or the 30s, or just 40s, like 40%, 30%, when it comes to percentage, because yeah, Kennedy is probably going to be a good decider. He's going to pick up all the moderates that don't like Trump or Biden. And of course you have Cornel West and Jill Stein, but I doubt they would get that much support as Kennedy would. So what do you guys think on Joe Biden's approval rating? He is the only president. He is the number one president in U.S. history with the lowest approval rating seeking re-election. You want to know how low Jimmy Carter's approval rating was? I don't know for sure, but his approval was low, and he only could carry 49 electoral votes. All right, yeah, 49 electoral votes. Yes, 6 states plus DC. That's bad. Really bad. He only received 41%. That's good. That's 9%, a 9% defeat. Better than William Howard Taft and Herbert Hoover. But still bad. Like, you picked electorally, you've got squashed. That's thanks to your John B. Anderson, of course, because he took votes away from both, because he was the moderate player. But yeah, definitely. I will tell you guys, Kennedy is going to be on the ballot. Like, he's going to be never have we ever had a three-way race since 96. I wasn't even alive to see a three-way race. And I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to turn out. Because this year, I can tell you, it's going to be a three-way race. Unless something happens to Kennedy, or Kennedy, for some whatever reason, wants to drop out. This is going to be a three-way race. I guarantee you, there's a lot of people that want change, and that change should either be a Democrat change, a Republican-initiated change, or a Kennedy change. So this is going to be how the American people wants it to be. And we're kind of curious to see, what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll ultimately see you guys in the next political episode.